needle FNAs are done through small gauge, because if you have a very large gauge, then instead of just the cells, a lot of blood comes into the system. So you don't get the kind of smear with more cells that you are looking at, rather than you'll get a lot of blood in a bigger bore needle. So it's really a non-cutting needle. You just want to go through it multiple passes, and with the capillary action, you want the cells to come into the needle. And then you can use those minimal few cells or few that tissue onto a slide, and then you smear it so that an FNA can be read by the pathologist. Of course, but if the length is requirement is longer, something is more deep, then you need to look at other needles. Spinal needle first. So spinal needle is slightly longer. See, the first thing I told was the kind of needles that come along with syringes, the one which are small. They're usually around 2 to 3 centimeters. That much depth they can take. But then if you need a longer length, you want to go into the liver or something which is more than 3 centimeters, then you go for spinal needle. That will give you a length of around 9 centimeters to work with. And then you have other special needles called Chiba needles, which are even longer, say 15, 20, if you really need to have a position which is significantly deep. So that's Chiba needles. But all of them you will use primarily in a range of 21, 20 to 25 gauge. So 25 gauge is thinner. So don't go by the number being higher. It's not like that's a bigger gauge. Gauges go from smaller, which is higher is smaller, and lower is bigger. So 20 gauge needle has a bigger bore than a 25 gauge needle. So the smaller you get, less number of cells will come, but the uh, kind of blood and the other tissue that will come is also lesser. So 22, 23 gauge is a good size in between where you can do the FNAC. The very thin ones, if they are long, they are very difficult to direct, turn them around is tough. So then you have to make sure that they are right in the position from the beginning. A slightly thicker needle, it is easier to push and keep its direction while going. Then you have the cutting needles. Uh, See, FNA, you're not cutting anything. You're just trying to make sure that some of the cells come into it. You don't want a piece to be cut. So they're not actively cutting anything. It's just the capillary action which is taking up that tissue. But if you really need to take a piece, you want to go and cut out a piece, then you need cutting needles, and you can have variable sizes. We have it in 14 gauge used for breast, 16 gauge for kidney biopsy, 18 gauge for smaller tissues, especially lymph nodes, axillary lymph nodes like in breast. Liver, I use 18 gauge. Kidney, also sometimes if it's a mass, you can use 18 gauge. If you're looking for a bigger core like a uh, parenchymal biopsy, like we have read about in pathology, where we need to understand the glomeruli and everything, then you often go for a 16 gauge needle. So that comes with experience, and it's not fixed. It's about the kind of tissue that you need or your pathology needs, and then you can discuss with them that what thickness is required. Then there could be two types of cutting needle. Either it's end cutting, that whatever is the uh, edge of the needle, that's going to cut the tissue and then pull it inside. So they are more of the Jamshidi bone marrow biopsy. So the one we use in bone marrow is like it will cut as it goes in. So the edges and the distal mode part itself are the cutting part. They are sharp. So when they go in, they cut out a piece, it gets stuck in the needle, and the same thing is pulled out. But then there are side cutting needles where you have a single thing that projects out, but it has a groove. It has a groove in it. And then there is a cannula that cuts over it. And as a result, a piece is collected in the groove. So that is a side cutting needle. I can draw it for you. So if you have this kind of needle which edges are serrated, or these itself will cut through the tissue in front, then this is an end cutting needle. But if you have a needle, this is the primary needle, the cannula, and then there is something that pokes out, has a groove here. So this groove is where you tissue is there. And then once you press the button, part of this gun will fire over it, and the tissue gets collected in the groove. So that firing cannula cuts that tissue, and that tissue gets stored in the groove. You can remove the needle and then de-lock it, and in the groove you will have the tissue which you take it out. So that is called a side cutting needle. So most of the time, apart from that bone biopsy that I'm talking nowadays, we are using bone biopsy needle. Sorry, a side cutting needle. Side cutting needle can be manual or can be semi-automatic or automatic. Manual is like where both the things that you have to do. Very few of these manual ones are required to cut everything from the outside. Now we have buttons where you just press a button and it will fire. The difference in semi-automatic and automatic is that the initial groove part and the cannula that cuts it, cutting cannula, both of them, if they fire together in one go, first comes and then the second one also comes immediately, that is called an automatic gun. So you don't have to do anything at all. You just have to keep it there and press it. But in semi-automatic, you first push out the cannula, the groove, the part that is the groove into the tissue. You push it out, and now you can see the place where is the groove, and you know that this much extra part, say if it's a 2 centimeter cutting needle, then you know that and this is the place till where it will cut. So if I draw it for you, so this is okay. So this is the needle. Initially, it will look like this. Then on the outside, if you push, then a part of it comes out. This is the one which is the groove. And then when you press it, the button, now there is a click button, and that button will then send this cutter on top and it will cut. So these two processes are de-linked in a semi-automatic gun, whereas in an automatic gun, both of them fire together. So if it's a large lesion and you're not really bothered about precision, an automatic gun is good. It is less costly because they don't have to separate out these procedures. The levers can go together. But in a semi-automatic gun, you need to differentiate that the groove goes first, and then you are able to send the cutter behind it after seeing that your groove is in the right place. So then those are called semi-automatic coaxial guns. And because you place only often you place these through another needle. So that is what you say a coaxial system. If you feel that the place where you're going to reach is going to be difficult to go again and again, so instead of directly taking the biopsy gun, you first take a coaxial needle, an outer cannula. And now that this is in place in the tissue, say there's a mass here, you've reached, it's in deep somewhere in the liver. You don't want to go through the liver capsule again and again. So you place this cannula in it, remove the stillet, and then your gun goes through this one. So if your gun goes through this one, now you can take a piece, take it out, put it in a formalin, then again go back and take another piece, bring that and put the piece in the sample container and repeat this process 2, 3, 4 times without having to spend time on replacing the uh, needle every time. So you already in place with that outer cannula. You just need to keep taking a piece and coming out when you use a coaxial needle. And length, throw, and gauge is something that I've already talked. Gauge is the diameter, the bigger the piece, it is going to take if it's a smaller gauge. Bigger gauge is going to take a smaller piece. You remember that. And throw is like, is it going to take a 1 centimeter piece? Is it going to take a 2 centimeter piece? So it's the throw of the cut. And length, if you say this is also length only, this length that we are mentioning is the length of the biopsy gun. That is differentiated on the basis how deep is the lesion. If the lesion is say 10, 12 centimeter deep, then I need a gain which is 15 centimeter long. If it's 5, 6 centimeter deep, then a 9, 10 centimeter gun can also be used. So they come in 2, 3 size. It's not like every 1 centimeter size is there. But on the basis of how deep is the lesion, you can decide which gun you want to use. So there's a length you need to define, there's a throw that you need to decide, and a gauge that you need to decide. So you write something like, okay, I need a 18 gauge gun with a 20 throw and a length of 15 centimeter. That is the kind of, so you will turn this in gauge, this is this is centimeter. Okay. So this is how you will decide the size of the gun depending on where you want to reach. So this is, see how it's written. You have an 18 gauge gun here, okay, the laser, uh, 15 centimeter length and a 15 throw. So this is how it is written. Because this is the coaxial needle, you also have an outer cannula for which that is 17 gauge. So a bigger cannula is required to send a smaller one. Of course, then only it will fit inside that cannula. So you have a 10.5 centimeter length of that outer cannula. You have to remember that that cannula should also be long enough to reach the lesion. So these are important lengths, how you decide which gun you are going to use. So this is the example here. This is the Jamshidi kind of bone marrow biopsy needle or a bone biopsy needle. You will keep these two things together. This is the inner stillet, sorry, outer cannula. This is the inner stillet, and then this is used to get the piece out. So once you have pushed this into the bone, you remove the stillet, then again push a little. Now when you push inside the bone without the stillet, a piece of the bone will come into this cannula. And then you remove the cannula, and with the help of this pusher, you get it out of the cannula and repeat the process if needed. So this is that kind of end cutting needle. Now these two are side cutting needles. This one is an automatic needle. You press one button and both the inner cannula and the inner groove and the outer cutting cannula fire together. Whereas this one is a semi-automatic gun. In this, if you push this from behind, don't let it click, just push it. Then a groove will get protruded outside. And then when you click it, the outer cannula will go over it and cut it. While this one here is a coaxial needle. We can put this needle first, then remove this stillet, and from that you can insert this side cutting, semi-automatic biopsy gun. So once you've decided your gun, next you go at pre-procedure planning. It's not like Manga ke just fatafat we are going to